Previously on Detour. The reason why they're so aggressive, trying not to have you flip them over, is the bottom skin actually doesn't have any bones. On the back plates, it actually has bones in it. They're called scutes. The saltwater crocodile is not considered endangered. It's protected but not endangered. They're found throughout Southeast Asia. The one that's highly endangered is the Philippine freshwater crocodile. They're only found in the Philippines, and they estimate there's less than 100 adults left in the wild. In fact, an adult Philippine freshwater crocodile is only about this big, and yet this one right here is the same species as lolong. This species has historically been known to grow up to 27, 28 feet long. Lolo being 20 feet 4 inches, quite a bit bigger than this one. Just the head of lolong was about this big. So here in the Philippines, they're considered endangered because of people constantly destruction of habitat, as well as hunting the animal for skin. And somebody sees something like this in the river next to them, oh, first the reaction is, kill it, it's gonna kill us. It wasn't doing anything to you. But the automatic reaction is kill it. And more often than not, it'll actually avoid you. When they get bigger than this and they continue to stay there, that's when it becomes a problem. But you have to remember, these animals were living in the Philippines before humans arrived to the Philippines. So this was their home first. So it's almost impossible to coexist with saltwater crocodiles, but there are places throughout the world, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, even in Surigao, you can go surfing, and if you were to go snorkeling, you'd actually see crocodiles in the surf. But nobody ever sees them, nobody ever gets bit. So humans are coexisting and they didn't even know it. So it is possible, but would you want your daughter or your son playing next to the river knowing that a bigger one than this is in the water and it's looking for something to eat? So that's where it becomes an issue. Now in the United States with the alligators, they have more alligators in the wild in more wide variety, in more wide range than they were ever found before because of the success of the protecting of the alligator. Now we have hunting seasons every year that you can go hunt the American alligator, but they were almost wiped out to the point of extinction early 19th century. And yet now we have them throughout the southern United States, more than what there ever was historically. So now we're having more attacks of alligators on humans because humans are encroaching in their areas. We're building swimming pools. The crocodile goes, wow, clean swimming pool, I'm moving in here. Somebody jumps in the pool at night not realizing there was an alligator in there, you got a problem. People are walking their little dogs. It's not the alligator trying to attack the human, it's the alligator going, wow, you got something that looks like a raccoon or a small animal, it's gonna go up and eat it. So that's where you start having the conflict with humans and alligators in the United States. Instead of looking at a human perspective, the best way to see these ferocious hunters with a bite of nearly the force of 2 tons per tooth is the benefit that it can bring to the ecosystem. Its presence is important to the environment. So what does an animal like the crocodile bring to the table? One of the most important roles of this mighty animal is the fact that they eat carcasses or dead animals of other species, and the balance of its population in the habitat. This ensures that the river is functioning smoothly. Crocodile monitoring and sightseeing can also be an opportunity for tourism. This animal can also be utilized for its hides, its meat, and even in some cases, jewelry from its teeth. This animal in the wild is eating wild pigs, it's eating fishes, it's eating turtles, which turtles don't have natural predators other than crocodiles. So this guy is eating turtles in the wild that if you had too many turtles, the turtles would be eating all the fishes. So it's also eating the carps and other invasive species. So they're basically the janitor for the whole ecosystem. Too many rats, they're eating the rats. So they're keeping the system in balance. Now, if you remove them from the ecosystem, you start getting too many carps, too many turtles. The swamps get overrun with the kangkong and all the other introduced plants, which then disrupts the whole flow of the river. The river starts to get stuck up, starts building up with silt, and then the whole river system dies just by removing the top predator. Now, humans, we've never been able to successfully remove a top predator and then be able to be the top predator for the ecosystem. We always knock it out of balance. So the way it was naturally designed, these guys are the top predators, they keep the ecosystem in balance. It's learning to be able to live side by side with these guys, or If we can't live beside them, we have to learn to set areas aside and say, don't touch this area. Leave that animal in the area, leave that area strictly for these guys in the ecosystem that was there to begin with. Now with this crocodile here on a breeding facilities, this crocodile, whether it likes it or not, is an ambassador for not only this species, but also for several other species in the wildlife ecosystem, because the money that the farms get from raising these guys, they're also raising the Philippine freshwater crocodile. They're using the technology for breeding these to breed the Philippine freshwater crocodile, and because nobody is allowed to use the skins for the Philippine freshwater, they're releasing them back into the wild. So her life pays for hundreds, if not thousands, of other animals to be able to survive. Now, people say, well, it's not fair, she's got to die for it, but my best friend in my life, he gave his life for everybody else. So this animal will be the flagstaff animal for all the other ones for protecting, because when you release a Philippine freshwater crocodile back into the wild, that whole area has to be protected so that the crocodile has food. There's baboy de mo, there's monkeys, there's pigs. It protects that whole ecosystem in there, and then creates ecotourism for people to pay to go see the animal in the wild, not just in a cage. So to find an area for 101.1 million Filipinos to live on only 7,000 islands, these guys are the ones that are going to lose. And then you figure the food source that humans need, the rice, the bananas, the pineapples, whether it be for export, local consumption, that also hits into their areas as well. So all of those factors put in, every single factor makes a less and less area. It's like removing this area. We need this for farming. We need this for this. By the time you're done, you only have one little dot left for the crocodile, and that's not enough. So we need to learn to be able to set aside areas that is merely for the fact for this animal to be able to survive, for our kids, grandkids, to be able to see it, us as caretakers, because the place for wildlife should not just be left in a zoo, that your kids want to see an elephant, oh, go see an elephant in the zoo. That's the only place left to be able to see it. If your kids want to see a crocodile, well, let's go look at it in the zoo, or grandma's got a bag that's made out of a crocodile, you can see what they used to look like. That should not be the future for the Philippines, for its wildlife, whether it be the Philippine eagle, the Philippine freshwater crocodile, the tamaraw, the monkeys, the deers, the wild pigs. There needs to be places left in the Philippines and throughout Southeast Asia where these animals are still left in their wild habitat. Here we have a 1-week-old hatchling baby crocodile. Now, even from the time that they hatch from the egg, if you notice here on his tummy, there's his umbilical cord that was when he was inside the egg. Now, this baby crocodile has enough still in his stomach to survive for a couple of weeks without him having to hunt yet. Now, from the day they're born, though, they already have, or from the day they're hatched, they already have these tiny little teeth, and they do have the chance to be able to bite you. So this little guy right here is going to bite me. Ah! Oh, man. Okay. I don't know why I got bit so far on my finger. And he's already got his teeth sunk in it, and as you notice, he doesn't want to, he does have sharp little teeth, and it will leave a nice little mark, and he won't release until he gets relaxed. So this is worse than getting bit by a gecko. He doesn't really want to release either, so just have to wait till he relaxes a little bit more. Let go, buddy, let go. Ow, ow, ow. So even as a baby guy, he's still got enough teeth to draw blood. So they're ready to defend themselves. Now, this little guy would actually be staying with his mother for up to 3 or 4 months after he hatches. But in captivity, their survival rate is greater if they're separated from the mother. Now, on the tip of his nose, do you see right there? There's actually a tooth. You see that teeny tiny little thing right there? That actually helps him break open the egg to get out. This little guy can turn into a giant. This may be the future Lolo. That little tooth right there, that's actually a tooth right there on the tip of his nose. You guys see that? Right there. Yeah. That's what he uses to call his mother. And now you notice how he's lost his bigger belly there? The belly's grown together underneath. He's gonna rant. Yeah, that's what he uses. And his mom hears that, and she will come running for him. See how it has that seal on his mouth? It opens up so he can be able to make that noise. Watch, watch. Ow. Okay, that's taking the tip of my finger off. That one's hurting. Okay, we'll wait till he decides to open his mouth, because zoom on this side, you see how he's got those really, really sharp teeth? He's got the tip of my finger on his other side. This one hurts. That was not on purpose. That hurts. But I'm not gonna move or anything, because if you move, he's gonna and go and then you got a problem. Okay, come on, please let go, please. Please. That's a good one. Let's let you go. Come on, let's let you go. Let's let you go. Let's let you go. Come on, let's let you go. Please let go. That's a good bite. That's gonna really, really hurt. Again, my fault for getting bit. You put your finger next to a crocodile's mouth, chances are he's gonna bite you. Being a baby, he's doing everything to defend himself. He's not doing it to be mean to me. He's doing it so that if it's a bird or something like that, he would be biting it to get the bird to let go of him. Problem is, he's not letting go though. That's not a good thing for me. I don't want him to start yanking around and doing a twisty move, so just gotta go like this until he decides. He bit down harder. Okay, go see Mom. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah, that guy got me worse. Yeah, okay, finally he let me go. But he got me good.
Gentle persuasion.
Gentle persuasion, yeah. As you see, he's got sharper teeth, causes a little bit more of a bite. Now, can you imagine what a big crocodile does? I have scars from when I was younger and played with more of them. So now this guy has the taste for Uncle D. One day I gotta watch out for him. So let's let this man eater back in his thing, and let's stop playing with him for today. Let's go. Crocodile kiss. Coming up next on Detour. This place doesn't just house trees and vines. You also have wildlife here.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Now, I noticed they're not put in cages. You have them literally free roaming around. They're wild.
We call them unzoo. Animals here are free to go around. They're invading the coconuts, and so we have to do something about that.
Yeah.
So they eat a lot.
Yeah.
They eat maybe a few thousands of nuts.